Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2022. Remember, viewers, we are live on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook, so like and share our live stream. We are also on YouTube, TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So, viewers, as we start up our program tonight, Thursday, it's Bacchanal Thursday. I encourage you to call your friends and your family, send them a little WhatsApp message, a little messenger message, or you could even call them. You can even call them and let them know Real Talk with Saieed Ali is going live on Synergy Network now. So good night to you, Trinidad and Tobago. Miss John, the woman who was the first detected with the Omicron COVID-19 variant in Trinidad and Tobago, has been charged. The charge against her comes after 2 months of investigation by the police service. John is expected to appear before an Arima magistrate on April 19th. She was charged by way of a summons. The charge states that she willingly omit to carrying out condition given by the quarantine authority acting under the authority of the Quarantine Act, in which she was required to upload a negative PCR test result in an application to obtain a TT travel pass. Last December, John traveled from New York to Panama and then to TNT. She was said to be COVID-19 positive and breached this country's travel protocols. Since then, John has been at the center of an investigation. At least that investigation has come to an end. She has been charged. Nevertheless, Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali have stated that the committee outlined to investigate what led to the death of 4 divers at the Paria Fuel Trading Company Point-a-Pierre facility has come to an end before it even began. Therefore, the PM has instructed the Minister of Energy to cancel the committee after the surprise resignation of member Eugene Tarr. In Tarr's personal statement of resignation, he hinted that the attacks by the UNC played a part in his decision. The PM added that as a result of the behavior of the opposition, the energy chambers has lost Mr. Tarr, together with international companies. Listen to this.
But as far as the opposition is concerned, he will come there to cover up for Paria and for the government. What is there to cover up? I don't know. A pipeline was there, it sucked in people, it killed people. Maybe that didn't happen. We'll come out and tell you that didn't happen. As a result of that, as a result of the behavior of the opposition in slandering people, attacking people, the energy chamber has lost its person. Mr. Tia has pulled out. Said, I will not do this assignment. The international companies have said, well, I don't think they need our help. And of course, I have come to the conclusion that nothing that the government does in appointing any committee, unless we appoint Gopi Singh, Ramdeen, Kamla Basasan, whoever else, nothing that the government does will satisfy the population that it has been properly done and that the findings are in fact fair and accurate assessments of the situation. I've come to that conclusion.
So he have come to the conclusion that anything the government done, it is not satisfying to the opposition. So I just want to remind Mr. Saieed Ali, when he was in opposition, everything the other party did while in governance, it never satisfied him. You see, he have to look back in history as to when he was the opposition, how he used to behave, and how he used to demand accountability from the ruling party back then. Like I said, if our Prime Minister was on the opposite side, every single thing that the ruling party does, he would have never approved. But the table have turned. The table have turned. That is why I said to you, Trinidad and Tobago, I love our Prime Minister as the opposition. Because he would always contest every single thing back then that present government bring towards Trinidad and Tobago. Telling the man, I love him back then. Now he's blaming the opposition now that nothing the government do, the opposition like it. You see, I go tell you something. The opposition have a duty to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They are being paid through taxpayers' money to represent the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and the opposition have a right to question everything that the government brings forth. So now that Mr. Tia, since his resignation, when he resigned, does he carry a boatload of company with him? So just because this individual resigned, let's just say 100 companies have to resign work from Trinidad? I'm just asking the Prime Minister that. So how come it is the opposition fault now? Now that I have demanded the opposition to stand up, it's the opposition fault that TL resigned, and when TL resigned, our wealth of company goes. That is ridiculous. So hear this now. So if the energy minister, Mrs. Stuart Young, resigned being the energy minister, well then we have to expect now a fleet load of companies to go. Because he's the energy minister. You see the kind of foolish statement they just come out and make? The energy sector has lost Mr. Tia together with international companies. So if Stuart Young resigned, being the Minister of Energies, do we lose international companies because Stuart Young resigned? I'm asking a question in general. If Saieed Ali resigned from the board of directors from Realtalk group of companies and I step aside, does international companies leave because I step aside? I want to educate all you tonight. This is what I want to do. I want to educate all you tonight. If the Prime Minister resigned, would the Security Council, right, just as the Security Council, if he resigned at that position, does CDPS go? Does the Coast Guard go? Does the Army go? Common sense was made before book. Always remember that, TNT. Always remember that. The PM also argued that he would have to look for persons from Mars just to satisfy the UNC. Listen to this.
What do we do? Where do we find these people from Mars? Who in this society? Where are we going to find people to serve on this committee? Who in this country in the energy sector are we going to find? An energy sector that is owned by the government and has consistently been government control. Where are you going to find them? Help me out here.
You don't have to go to Mars. You don't have to go to Mars. However, he has called for a 3-member commissioner of inquiries. We had to go to Mars. Listen to this.
I've today instructed the Minister of Energy on behalf of the Cabinet to cancel the arrangement that was made public. And therefore, there will be no 5-man committee of the experts that were made public. Because even before they've done the job, the population has been so riled up into not accepting any work that they've done, that's a waste of time now.
You think this man easy? Dr. Rowley also wished the committee members Godspeed with this erroneous and hey. Our Prime Minister not easy, you know. He wished the committee Godspeed with this erroneous and supreme important task. I want to hear something. Caller, just hold on there. Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited have stated that the decision to prevent further entries by LMCS divers into the 30-inch pipeline during the search and rescue exercise 2 weeks ago was made by Paria and supported by T&T Coast Guard and other external experts. Caller, good night.
Yeah, caller, good night, Mr. Ali. This is the lady from TSCT who called you yesterday. Right. Now, what it has happened, I am a retiree from Simpson Telco days, right? And the company has 907 million surplus. And we have been having meetings upon meetings, and management have no problem and not doing anything. It have workers, retirees working as much as 34 years, and their pension is less than $800 per month. We had meetings upon meetings. They said, let us bring it up to $3,500 as the old age pension. Up to now, nothing has been done. It's just we have been marching. Could I call the two officers' name in the company?
No, don't call their name as yet.
All right.
Go ahead and highlight the issue.
Right. Now, we having some problems now. They don't want to pay us. Retirees dying every single day, Mr. Ali, every single day. And the finance and the CEO not doing anything. It's only meeting up. We had 2 Fridays ago, we had meetings in Textile Building. Some of the retirees kind of march from 12 to 1. They make one wrong, they sit down. It had themselves a blind man. I mean, after telco days, you know, I there from since the 4th of October, 1970. I am 71. And every time I have to leave a remand, come down to Independence Square, I don't have my own transport just to support the other workers because some of them very ill and they cannot come out to march.
So who is owing you your pension after you retire? TSCT?
Yeah, TSCT, yeah.
So you all had negotiations upon negotiations and no payment up to now?
Up to now.
How much years now have you resigned your job?
I left at 203. And since in telco days.
No, but how long now, average?
About 19 years.
So you have resigned 19 years from your job, and 19 years in the future, you still haven't received your pension?
No, I received my pension, but this is some money that telco days, not TSCT. When it was telco days. It's telco thing, not TSCT, telco.
So telco is still owing you all a pension?
That's right.
Wow. 19 years up the road, telco ain't pay all as yet.
That's right.
So how much individual are they waiting on their pension from telco?
Well, the monk of workers, I can't give you a figure. But it's plenty, and a lot of them have died out already.
Wow.
So, yeah, a lot of them have died out. I watched something, Mr. Ali, last Friday ago. Management passed up and we marching in telco, and one of the workers, retiree, eat something, and they didn't have no bin, and just to go by textile building, just to put it in the bin, the security guard tell him he can't come in. After we sweat and build telco, all kind of thing, and them too, the finance and the CEO benefiting everything. They come outside, they march, they turn up the glass, and they watch us, they marching. Some with stick. It have a blind man last week, Friday was there.
Thank you, my dear, for highlighting the issues.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Ali. Right.
So, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're gonna continue on the Paria decision that they made.
Do you want to make the best investment but not sure where to turn? Put your mind at ease and worry no more. Real Talk Group of Companies is giving you a whopping 3.5% interest on your investments. Come on down and visit us today. We have 2 convenient locations just for you. Visit us at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando. Sit back and watch your money grow at Real Talk Investment. Do contact us now at 238-6716. 339-1670 or 242-7690. Our team of professionals are waiting for you. Grab this opportunity and invest today. Real Talk Investment, helping real people make real money. This ad was paid for by the Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Remember, viewers, Real Talk Group of Companies is offering you 3.5% on our Real Talk fixed investment set up by their company. This is for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to get more money on your investment than any other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. Any other institution. You could check for yourself. Check for yourself. 3.5%, you ain't getting it anyway at any financial institution. And you know Saieed solid. You know Real Talk Group of Companies solid because I'm a director on it. I'm a director on it. So you know anything I govern in, anything I run in, it had to be straight. Because I cannot be straight on television and crooked in the back. That is not Saieed. That is not Saieed at all, at all, at all. So here it is. Paria stated that it welcomes the government decision to establish a commission of inquiries and look forward to presenting the facts on the incident which took place on February 25th involving 5 divers at Paria facility in Pointe-à-Pierre. Occupational Safety and Health Agency OSHA is also currently conducting its own investigation into the incident, and Paria is fully committed to making available all relevant documents and information to the investigations. Just imagine, the Coast Guard prevented this, Wow. Caller, good night.
Say good night. How do you balance?
I good. Go right ahead, my friend.
All right. The question is that there is 4 people who get lost their life in this Paria business, right? Mm-hmm. Why it is the police is not doing any investigations? 4 people get killed in this accident and the police is not stepping yet. What are they waiting? So somebody do the investigation for them? Are they very serious?
Apparently, like they're afraid. The police are not
I don't
outside.
understand. The thing is that, look, for instance, the problem with the Coast Guard and the Venezuela and the Grenadian, who are they waiting for to investigate these matters?
Correct.
A special inquiry? Thank you, man.
Thank you, my friend. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali have stated that the population cannot be hiding from the effects of change in the price of oil, as the cost of maintaining the fuel subsidy has become excessive. This, as he put the nation on notice that the recent increase in the price of oil could lead to an increase of price at the pump in Trinidad and Tobago. The PM seemed to make a case of either the removal or the reduction of the fuel subsidy. He stated that currently the government has to find over $767 million for the fuel subsidy to preserve it the way it is now.
The government will still have to find $767 million. That is just to preserve the subsidy in the way it is now. And the question that we have to ask ourselves, if we have $767 million available, is subsidizing fuel the way to spend it. Because you have to borrow that money. To pay this subsidy, the Minister of Finance will have to engage in borrowing.
Now hear this, viewers. Hear this. The PM added that yesterday the price of oil rose to $128 a barrel and would impact citizens, but not in a positive way.
Today the price of oil reached $128 a barrel. And in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of people see our future tied up with the price of oil. Price of oil go up and we're into a good thing. Price of oil go down and we're into a problem. I want this population to get information tonight so that we can properly address what is going on in the world and that is going to be affecting us directly and not as positively as the simple number sounds.
My question to the Prime Minister and to the Energy Minister in Trinidad and Tobago, why did you all shut down the refinery? Why? So here is Trinidad and Tobago. It's Bacchanal Thursday. Did the refinery shut down to accommodate Paria and Heritage? I'm asking a question. Did the refinery in Trinidad and Tobago shut down together with Petrotrin to accommodate Paria and Heritage? Because I will tell you something. Paria and Heritage came in and making hundreds of millions of dollars in profits. In profits. And then you're saying there's bad management in Petrotrin, bad management in the refinery. But who are those in Paria and Heritage? Huh? Or let's check and all you go see for yourself. Now I'm going to tell you something. Oil rose to $128 per barrel. If Petrotrin, if we had the refinery running to refine oil, hear this, Petrotrin could have bought oil from outside for $128, bring it into Trinidad, refine the oil in our refinery and sell it back to other countries willing to purchase. You're getting refined oil. We're cracking the oil and we're selling it. You would tell me that that would not be profit coming into Trinidad, coming into the energy sector? Let's talk now. Let's talk now. So now we have to buy refined oil when we had our refinery running in Trinidad and Tobago. But because of bad management of our board, they caused it to shut down. And they opened something new now. And what are they doing? The same thing like Petrotrin. So why now, this board, Paria's board and Heritage board, why they didn't remove the board in Petrotrin and place Paria and Heritage, those members, in Petrotrin? Come now, man. Let's talk now, man. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Here's a scenario, right? Don't get vexed, right? There's a talk show on in the morning. Yesterday, a fella phoned in on the talk show. And he said Kamala is to blame for the guy using title leave. But the guy resigned, which means I give him credit for because he have integrity and he have morals, right? But this fellow was saying that they should, the UNC, they should let UNC continue, they should continue with the board, the inquiry with the same people, right? and he said, let the chips fall where they may. But the same thing I asked the guy this morning, right? That if Blissy Prasad and the president and Rowley, they stand up to the thing and go to the thing and tell everybody exactly what went on and let the chips fall where they may. Is that a good scenario for you? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I stay from a topic. I ain't shifting. Viewers have their opinion. Why wasn't those individuals who were hired by Heritage and hired by Paria, why wasn't they appointed as board members of Petrotrin instead of shutting down Petrotrin? Take those same men, put them on Petrotrin board, restructure Petrotrin, have they restructure the refinery and have it up and running. We importing oil, refining the oil and selling back product to outside. Let me tell you something, the intake of the revenue would have been in US. In US. But when you have a friend here, and you have a cousin down so, and you have a nanny up here, and you have a nenen down there, what do you expect? Now they're complaining now, we have to buy oil at $128, and now they want to remove the subsidy now. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Huh? You have a plan. You don't have a vision, but you make something into reality. What did you make into reality? Problems. That is what you made. You had a plan, but you didn't have a vision. And when you have a vision and you just conjure up something, you end up with what? Problems. You shut down one. You shut down two. Two other companies were created. What we end up with? What we end up with? We had to buy refined oil now. So how are we making? How are we going to make Trinidad and Tobago? How is revenue coming into Trinidad and Tobago? How the businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago could get US dollars? Because we have nothing to sell to the outside world to bring in our US revenue. Think about it. Think about it. I'm into real estate. And if I don't have a house, if I don't build a house, how I could sell this house? You know what I had to do? I had to sell a next man's house to make a commission from our next man. When I could make a big profit here, I had to chisel something and I had to talk. Like if, watch me, I had to talk like first time to get this house sell when I could make that profit in my house. I tell you, common sense was made before books. PM added. The PM added that yesterday the price of oil rose to $128 a barrel and would impact the citizens, but not in a positive way. Who paying for it? Who created the mess? The citizens didn't shut down Petrotrin, neither the refinery. Not the citizens. All you made the decision, and now we the citizens have to pay for it. Me not afraid to tell all you, you know. I'm telling all you as it is. He further noted that the current price at the pump, if not subsidized, and oil is up to $100 per barrel, the price at the pump will be $2 more than persons are paying now for premium gas. The PM stated that the Minister of Finance would have to take a decision as to how much funding it can find to stabilize or to subsidize fuel and take some pressure off the population. Listen to this.
Right now, we'll have to take a decision as to how much funding we can find to subsidize, to take some pressure off the population. But the population cannot be insulated completely from oil running at $120, $130, $140 per barrel. So in short, what I'm saying is that do not see the height in oil price as opening up huge possibilities for earnings, because the volumes at which we are producing oil now is not the same volumes we had before.
You listen to that? Did you hear that? Good. Hear this now. He also added that the reason for closing down the refinery was because production level was falling down.
The reason why we had to close down the refinery is because as the production level was falling down to this, we had to be buying oil, crude oil, to refine because we weren't producing it. We were buying approximately 120,000 barrels per day. If the refinery was open and operating now, we would have been paying that $128 a barrel for 128,000 barrels per day to keep the refinery going, guaranteed to lose between $7 and $10 a barrel. You get my drift?
That was the same man. That was the same man who said, we are not going to shut down Petrotrin. We are not going to close down the refinery. And if you're opening your fridge, my government is not going to shut it down. What happened a couple of weeks after? What happened? Huh? What happened, Trinidad and Tobago? So hear this. Hear this. We have a refinery functioning. A refinery to refine product and sell back outside. To refine. To break down. To find other contents of value. So we buying oil outside at a negotiated price. And there are countries in the world that do not have a refinery but depend on refined product from oil. So which means they have to come to us. Here this Trinidad and Tobago, you're buying oil outside and you're bringing it into the refinery. You're refining the oil to get other product and you're selling it to other countries. Let me tell you something. The Prime Minister cannot tell me that we're going to a bus with refined oil. You cannot tell me that. I am a businessman, local and regional. And you cannot tell me you would run to a bus. Because if you run to a bus, your management busting it. Well, hey, hear this now, boy. Hear this now. You're buying refined oil. Now, how much product you're getting from oil? Name some of the product we're getting from oil. We're getting engine oil. We're getting transmission oil. We're getting car oil. We're getting kerosene. Crude oil. Cooking oil. And that Prime Minister wants to tell me, because they had a drop in production, they had to shut down the refinery? All you hear that? All you hear that? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Them have a right to come out and say what they have to say, you know. Because they have people who will buy that with their eyes closed. You cannot tell me you running down a refinery. You have a refinery. You're buying oil outside to make up what you have here. You refine it and you sell it to other countries that do not have refineries. What your intake would be? What your revenue would be? Not TT, but in US. In euros. And you want to tell me, because the production level dropped, we had to shut down the refinery? So hear this now. Hear this now, Trinidad and Tobago. Vice versa. Listen this. We have a company in Trinidad, that manufacturing company, that makes what? Corn kernels? Whatever it is they're making. We buy in raw material outside to bring it into Trinidad to make our product for the citizens of Trinidad and also exporting. And them companies ain't shut down. They ain't shut down because they're buying raw material outside and bring it in inside. For instance, the flour mill. We're buying wheat outside. We're manufacturing it here, selling it for TNT citizens, and we're exporting to other countries. What is their revenue? US currency. So what the Prime Minister is trying to tell Saeed on your media conference, let me tell you something. You talking nonsense to me. If I buy cement down here, and I'm not getting cement, you think I'm going to close down my block factory? No, Mr. Prime Minister. I will looking for the cheapest country that's selling cement, and I'm importing cement by the tons, and I'm making my block, and I'm selling it. And when I sell in Trinidad, I'm looking for an export market. Because when I look for an export market, I will get the money in US or Euro or whatever it is, and I'm buying back with US. But you want to tell me about business or what? Not because you are the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You could come with your cock and bull story for every Tom, Dick and Harry in Trinidad and Tobago, and you expect everybody to swallow it like if it's honey they're drinking. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago. If you all want to be educated and see what is taking place in the world today, you will be educated. But if you want to remain under the slippers, you will always remain under the slippers. As I was saying on a previous show, there are certain types of people who would be comfortable with a brass spoon and would not look to accomplish a silver spoon. Call a good night.
Yes, Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, you hit the nail on the head there now. So that, because I'm going to tell you something, the speech and the reason why the Prime Minister gave that reason is because of the refinery. If I have no other reason I could see, the reason why he say we're not producing as we used to produce before. You understand what I'm saying? They downscale everything. And now they're not making the money. They're complaining. But anyhow you look at it, side, it must not add enough. Because when you sit down and you think about it, you can't tell me that the price of oil going up and we still making a loss. Something had to be wrong there, side. And why it is, the question I have tonight, right? Why it is the taxpayers always have to bend their back
Correct.
to save the country. This is the question I have to ask. Because let me tell you the reason for asking this question. all you have mega projects going on. All you have a $1 billion airport that nobody wants right now that's going up in Tobago. Why you can't take that money and pump it into the subsidy so people won't have to spend $400 to fill up an 80 wagon to drive around the place? You tell me that. Or you're going to build a overpass. I don't know if you know about the overpass.
Yes, I hear about it.
Right, from Diego Martin to West Mall. You know about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It costing $500 million, $500 million it costing to build that. We don't need that. Nobody benefiting from that. Only the people from Diego Martin benefiting from that. So why are you spending that money there? Why you cannot take the money and utilize it so that the whole nation would have benefit from that? But no, they just only look at the few people who got benefit from their decisions and go ahead and do it. And the rest of we have to bend we back and pay the money for it. You understand what I'm telling you, right? And the reason for closing on Petrotrin, I don't know if you were trying to break the partner from $100 million oil scandal or whatever, but at the end of the day, this is the result of bad governance. If it is you put somebody to run something side and run into a bus, you can blame the workers on the ground or you can blame the management.
Thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you. So here are the viewers. The current fuel price. Premium price at $5.75 per liter. Super price is $4.97 per liter. Diesel is $341. My mistake. $3.41 per liter. That is current fuel price. Unsubsidized, and if oil is at 100 per barrel, premium will go up to $7.58. Super will go up to $7.46, and diesel will go up to $6.58. Now, diesel presently is $3.41. That, unsubsidized, will go up to $6.58. You think it easy? All I feel the Prime Minister alone, I know what he's saying. Hear this now. Health Minister Terence Yalsing has explained his mixed decision to reopen daycare centers less than 24 hours after he told the public it was still too risky to do so. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to mash up the Health Minister. Right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
So remember, viewers, we have our food drive going on. New model Ford Ranger 4x4 3.2 is up for grab. Remember that all you have to do is make a contribution towards our food drive, and you could be the lucky owner of a 3.2 4x4 fully loaded new model Ford Ranger. So contact us, viewers, and make a donation so we can afford to feed those that need groceries as we did in 2021. So we continue now with Terence Yalsing. Last Saturday, March 5th, Yalsing stated that the ministry was concerned about young children and toddlers who are unvaccinated, adding that the risk is still too high. Listen to this.
On the issue of daycares, we are still concerned that those toddlers and young children who are still unvaccinated or unvaccinatable at this point in time, we feel at this point in time that the risk posed to them and their families is too high at this point in time. Again, there's a risk and reward equation. And as I said, we can't flick a switch and just send everything back to normal at the same time.
So now, viewers, that was Saturday the 5th of March. That's what he said. It's too risky for children. Then, on Sunday, the 6th of March, the ministry in a release stated that from March 7th, daycare centers would be allowed to open. Let's say with the visual. Show the public.
We got a lot of representations, especially from public servants, who had to come out to work from Monday.
Visual viewers, where the ministry said in a release on the 6th of March, they released that. This document is seen on screen is they released it on the 6th of March, saying that daycares will be open from the 7th. Now hear this. Hear what the minister say. However, after considering the implications of the full return to work of public sector, Dialsing in Wednesday media conference on the 9th of March stated that the reopening of daycare center was necessary to assist the working parents. Listen to this.
We got a lot of representations, especially from public servants, who had to come out to work from Monday. We revisited the idea. As we said, we look at these measures all the time, and we had no problem in revisiting the idea, weighing the risk and benefit of getting people back out to work, being productive. And that was the reason why we revisited the idea between Saturday and Sunday to accommodate mainly public servants and also teachers to some extent, and all those who are coming back out to work.
The government knew public sector would be going out to work, because they would have sit down, come together with arrangements to send back the public sector to work. They would have known that. But on the 5th of March, Dialsing said it would have been too risky and too high. Too risky and too high. He also added that it was a risk. You hear that? It was a risk. A risk. Keyword, risk. But the population cannot be cocooned much longer. Listen to this.
It is a risk. It is a risk. But as we constantly say, we can't cocoon and cotton wool the population much longer. But in taking this risk, and I'm glad you raised it, in taking this risk, the personal responsibility component of this is going to become crucial, and let me explain.
You know what they're going to want to do now? You know what they're going to want to do now? They're going to say now, because of the risk, they had to get vaccinated. And then the minister now go come out begging parents now to get their children vaccinated. And then they go start back again now. The unvaccinated is causing the vaccinated to get COVID-19. So it's a whole ball game they're starting over, but they're going to use the little ones now. And they well know it is a risk. They knew it is a risk, but they opened back. All come, children. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. It's like Point Fortin Hospital. You set up a 5-member team to investigate who had good treatment and who had bad treatment in Point Fortin COVID-19 hospital. And as you set up your committee, a couple of weeks after, you turn back Point Fortin Hospital from a COVID hospital to a normal general hospital. So what you're going to do with the report now, you set up the 5-member team to do. Like I telling earlier, Trinidad and Tobago, they have their job to do. My job is to bring their foolishness in your eyesight and in your ears to hear how foolish some of those statements are. They also remind parents that there are no vaccine available for children 5 to 11 yet and ask them to be careful. Daycare children going back. But the Minister of Health asking the parents, all you be careful, eh? Don't see head? You don't see head? You ain't had the vaccine. 2020. Who died? 2021, you get the vaccine, death started to go up. You blame the vaccinated, the unvaccinated, to spread into the vaccinated, when the vaccinated is supposed to not get the virus. You tell me in a car now, wear your mask, because when you wind up the car now, and the air condition, you go get COVID-19 with your mask on. But then you're telling me now to go in a party for carnival and wine and jam and drink. And we can't get COVID-19 day. Boy, Terrence, boy, I don't know now. Serious. I feel it's just that every month go by, your memory getting less and less and less. Just now you ain't gonna have none. You ain't gonna have none. My question to you, Trinidad and Tobago, will you be sending your toddlers back to daycare or preschool? Caller, good night.
Good night, Said. Fantastic program.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Yes. On that little note with the Prime Minister who spoke about petroleum refining and it's not profitable. If anybody in Trinidad and Tobago could go on Google right now and Google what is the byproduct of the petroleum industry, you will see about 6,000 items. So I don't know who and what gave the Prime Minister his information if he doesn't even know what he's talking about. That's my contribution. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, my friend. You see, caller, this is why I tell the people, and I've been saying this, if they want to make themselves as ministers and educated individuals with degrees and bachelors and masters, if they want to bring a foolish statement to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. I will open the eyes of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Say they would not be fooled by somebody who have a master's. I come to lead. I didn't come to follow. I always say that. You go tell me we had to shut down the refinery because of the fact that production level is dropping? We have, let me tell you something, we have nobody in Trinidad and Tobago producing wheat. National Flour Mill will buy the wheat outside, bring it into Trinidad and Tobago, convert it, refine it, mill it, mix it, and then sell it back to bakeries and make a profit. And if they help it, they export it. And they make a profit. So this Prime Minister wants to tell themselves that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are donkey head people? Was the refinery and petrochem shut down to accommodate Paria and Heritage? Ask yourself that question. Let me tell you something. That can't interfere with me, you know. You can't buy me out, you can't interfere with my program, and you cannot burn my skin. As long as God gave me health and strength and keep my money flowing, I will be right here. Right here I will be. I has always made a statement. The 4 individuals who came after my son, they didn't know who child that was interfering with. Because if they did know that the owner of those children was a man who is do spirit work, they'd have never bounced their head on a steamroller. Never do that. Today, they may even know what color it have in front of them. Because if they did know that man's son is a man who does do spirit work, let me tell you something. All now, they could be watching where they're going and walking and holding a girlfriend hand and going down the road. Say, I didn't come here to make friends. I didn't come here to ask nobody to fund my program. That is why when somebody called me on my program, I want to embarrass me and put me on the spot, I will let you have it one time. I will let you have it one time. Because when you refuse to buy grocery for your neighbor, I could feed a whole village. Hey. Terence Dial Singh has stated that he is now satisfied with the vaccination level among children after records of an alarming drop in standard vaccination during the COVID-19 pandemic. In an update, Dial Singh thanked parents and guardians for the response to his call. He added that at least 4,400 children under the age needs to be vaccinated. Listen to this.
We have managed to reach and vaccinate 3,900, which is roughly about 88% of those. And that is not a that is not a bad return at all. It means that we have potentially escaped an outbreak of measles, which you do not want in any population. We have been measles free for many decades now, CMO, and it's a distinction we want to keep. So I want to thank all the DHVs who worked with me on this, Nurse Grace Sukchan, but more importantly, thank the parents who brought their little ones out to be vaccinated.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all to understand something. I didn't come here to sidetrack and to sideline and to just keep our show because we keep in our show. I didn't come here to do that. For the 4 years I've been on television, I have done nothing other than educate you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, viewers outside of Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't come here to mama guy nobody. I come here as one citizen to make a change in Trinidad and Tobago because I know I could do it. And thus far, for the last 4 years, being on the network, on a television show in Trinidad and Tobago and all over the world, Real Talk with Saieed Ali have made a lot of changes in Trinidad. Mostly in pushing for legislations and amendments that would govern our people better, that would give our people rights, that would give police rights, that would give individuals in Trinidad and Tobago a fighting chance. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, remember Real Talk Financing and Investment Company. We are celebrating Real Talk with Saieed Ali for 4 years on the network. On the 19th of March 2022 will make us 4 years on the network on a live program viewed in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world. We are offering you 3.5%, the highest interest rate that is being paid on any fixed deposit system in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, my company is stable. I do business local and regional. For those who want to know your money secure, let me tell you something. People just look for opportunities, and I just create opportunities. That is what I just do. I have business local and regional. Local and regional. But I have a little course to give about a bank tomorrow. I have a little course to give about a bank, but I will give it tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, viewers. Tune in. It will be Friday, 11th of March 2022. Remember, the run of this program is tomorrow, Friday, from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And we will be back on our live program on Friday, 11th of March. So viewers, remember, call me tomorrow, 339-1670, 238-6716 or 242-7690. for information to setting up a Real Talk fixed investment where you can get $3,500 on $100,000 investment in Real Talk group of companies. Until we meet again, good night.